Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you a shoulder explained, workout explained kind of video. So I always start all of my training sessions, including my shoulder day, with some sort of heavy movement. And for me, that is always the overhead press, sometimes behind the neck press, but I would go and say 80% of the time I start my workout with the overhead press because you can really overload the movement, and you also are basically using all of the muscles in your shoulder, from your front delt to your side delt to your rear delt, as stabilizer muscles. That is why the overhead press is such an important movement, because it utilizes all of your shoulder, and it is so important for shoulder health, especially if you are doing it properly. The overhead press does not cause shoulder impingement if you are doing it properly. If you keep your chest up, your shoulders back, and at the top of the movement you perform almost like a shrug when you are completely extended with your elbows, this is going to be so helpful for your shoulders. As you can kind of see here, I am bringing the bar up high on my chest, and I'm not pushing it out straight in front of me, I'm just pushing it straight up. The next movement I went into was a standing single arm dumbbell press. I enjoy doing these because they really allow me to just focus on each shoulder individually. Sometimes whenever I am pressing at the same time, I find that I will not pay as much attention to each side and maybe not always lock out all the way. And also, doing this standing allows me to get some body English in the movement, so I can go a little bit heavier, have a little bit of body English, and not be as strict with it. And I personally enjoy them a lot. I really feel them. Truthfully, I think I have a better connection with these than I do seated shoulder press. So definitely try them for yourself and just see how you like them. I had to wear a belt because my back was irritating me to no end, and the weight was actually pretty heavy for me, so I had to toss on that ugly belt. And the next movement I did was seated dumbbell press. I always incorporate these in my shoulder training as a staple. It is just a really great movement, and you can definitely go pretty heavy on them if you're comfortable and you know how to move. I know a lot of people who I train in the very beginning, it takes them a while to start to use weight, because training shoulders is honestly an awkward thing. Your shoulder is a ball and socket joint, so it can move in tons of different directions, and that can be kind of confusing and frustrating when you're trying to move, because things might feel unstable. So it's definitely important with all shoulder training to start very light, build your confidence up and build your strength up slowly, because you don't want to injure yourself or hurt yourself. The next movement I did was some isolated front raises, and these, I haven't done them in a hot minute, and they were so intense. I'm honestly gonna continue to incorporate these because I love them, but these are really hard to do, mostly because you're gonna want to use your traps a lot. I found that resting my head on the bench kind of helped me use less of my trap, and also making sure to keep your chest up will use a little bit less trap. Inevitably, you're always going to be using some of your traps when you train shoulders, but in my opinion, it is best to minimize the use, because then you will benefit more from your shoulder training and not just have these massive traps. And the next movement, actually the last movement, were seated side lateral raises. I did these seated because whenever I'm standing, I find that I tend to use more body English and I don't get as good of a connection just directly in my shoulders. So being seated takes out any extra momentum and really just makes it that much harder for your shoulders. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you as always for listening, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.